So now we need to work on the attack range, or the attacks. Let's go down to if he's not attacking, all that kind of stuff. Just from here, and this is going to be, we need to first check, let's go ahead and check the kind of attack enemy will do. So if action, ooh, I don't think we made a timer for this, did we? No, we do not. We did not. We need to make an action timer. So action timer is going to equal, for now we'll just do 60 times 1, so that's 1 second. Okay, so action timer, we're going to pretty much be dealing with these two things for right now. So if action timer is less than or equal to 0, this means it's time for the enemy to select another attack. So selecting another kind of attack. We'll go ahead and do a randomize. I mean, I heard people say you don't have to do this every time. I do it because I realized that when I didn't do it, to where I had, like, whenever I wanted a random selection, it wasn't really random. I was able to guess what it was going to be. So just letting you know, because throughout this video we're going to be using randomize within the same program quite a lot of times, but that's the reason why. Through experience, I realized it didn't actually give a true random at times when I wanted it to be a true random. Okay, let's continue. So after that, we're going to do attack action, which for now is only going to pick one number. So we can simply create the attacks, then when we create a second attack, we'll add another number, so on, etc. After that, let's go ahead and set up the next program, which will be resetting action timer. Actually, let's do something, because in some games, an enemy might take longer to change the type of attack it's going to do based on the type of attack it already done. For example, if he does a normal sword attack, he might decide to keep doing those normal attacks for 2 seconds. But if he did a special attack, he might not decide to do a special attack again. He might decide to try to change to a normal attack or maybe a healing item or something like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to reset action timer, but it's going to be based on the kind of attack selected. I think that will work for pretty good dynamic kind of a AI going on. So we're going to switch the attack action. And right now we only have one, so then we're going to call this normal attack. So normal attack, or let's do it like this: attack 1, normal attack, just for better clarity. And we'll do case 1. Excuse me. So if he chooses to do normal attacks, the action timer will reset to 60 times, choose either 7 seconds or 8 seconds before he decide to even select a different type of attack. Okay. So that's for right now, because we're only going to make one attack right now. This will be ending of action timer slash attack type. Okay, so now what we need to do is make it to where the enemy will actually do the attack is selected. Now this is the part that gets kind of crazy, because as you can see, we put direction in here. So if the enemy's facing right, we don't want the enemy to attack to the left. So it's going to be a crazy program right here. Let's do. So what we're doing is first we need to make sure the ATB is empty. I just thought about that, which pretty much means enemy can attack. What we'll do, if ATB is less than or equal to 0. Oh, this one's gonna actually be a long program, because depending on the type of attack it did, it might attack faster than normal. So it's like, okay, this will be fun. So let's do, we're gonna do selected attack. Or, well, we're not really doing the attack yet. So we're gonna be finding selected attack. Yeah, I'm gonna try to record 2 parts at one. So when I upload this one video, both of the episodes will be out. I'll try to at least get like 2 videos out at once. I think that will be better, especially for this part of building an AI system. Let's see here. So we're finding which attack the enemy is selected. So we're gonna switch attack action, and this is going to let us know what was selected. Because up here, the attack timer, when it's 0, the attack action is selected. Right now it's only going to be 1, but when we create more attacks and stuff like that, it can be 2, it can be a 3, it can be whatever. So we're going to put it into a switch, and this will be normal attack, which is case 1. So we're going to do a break there. Okay, there's a few things we're going to be doing here. Now let's take it a step at a time. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check enemy's direction. Check enemy's direction. Alright, so if dir equals 1, this means enemy is facing right. Right? Dir right, yes. So enemy facing right. Else, if dir equals 2, we're going to say enemy facing left. Alright, so since the enemy's facing left when we first start, we're going to go ahead and start programming everything inside the left direction. Instead of programming anything into the right direction to make the player move to the right direction before everything happens, we can simply just make them go straight to the right, get into the notice range, and we can start testing the whole entire stuff, just like that. So, enemy's facing left, player is noticed, the enemy is able to attack, and he selected normal attack, right? Now what we need to do is see which range the player is in. He might have a different normal attack if he's in attack range 1 versus an attack if he's in attack range 2. So now what we need to do is check the collision of the range here for the player. So we're going to be checking if player, or not if, but checking which attack range player is in. Yeah, so if collision rectangle. Ooh, let's do this so then we know what's going on. This is going to be checking attack range. So we're checking attack range, okay, which is actually close range. Alright. So if X, yeah, X. Dang, what are these called? Let me see. You know, I just thought about something here. Yeah, let's make this a little more dynamic. Let's put a 1 here, a 2 here, and this is going to be X1. Y, X2, Y2. and we're gonna do pretty much the same exact thing for the second attack range. So yeah, this really makes it a lot more dynamic, because now we can actually make attack range 1 like okay, awesome. Now we need to change one thing though real quick before we get an error. Let's go to the draw, the testing, and let's go ahead and put 1 in front of these. 1x, and then the y, so on, etc. So I mean, now we can just do some extra dynamics. That's pretty much all this will do. I mean, we can make sure not every attack range has to be symmetrically square. You know, one enemy might not be able to attack above him. All right. So if you go above him, he might have to change to his special attack, because it will actually be able to go above him and hit you. I mean, hey, we can get creative now. We can get highly creative. Alright, so let's go ahead and close that. Let's go ahead and comment this out real quick and start up the game just to make sure we don't have any kind of errors. And no, we do not. It still works. So let's make sure though. Blah, blah. Goes into 1. Nessie's leaving. No errors. Okay, awesome. We can continue. We can continue. Let's go ahead and remove those. And continue checking if he is in close range. Now, because I did that, let me try to keep this up some. So we're checking attack range 1. So attack range, or attack 1, range x1, and next we'll do y minus attack 1, y1, ooh, my bad, attack range y1, x plus attack 1, range x2, yes, 2. And then the y will be attack 1, range y2. Object player, we're checking for collision with the object player. Is it precise? Nah. We can speed up performance. We'll make it false. And it is not me. So, if the player is within attack range 1, we are going to now start doing the attacks. Now, this is going to get a little weird because we don't actually have attacks. So let's go ahead and make an attack, shall we? Why not? Let's duplicate this real quick. And we are going to take away... Oh, no! Ooh, whoa, what did I do? There we go. Okay. Have one here. Let's go to animation. Let's do colorize. In 7 frames. Hit that. So when that happens, he's attacking. So we can make an attacking animation sprite too, because I also want to show how you can incorporate animations with the attacks and all that kind of stuff. So enemy 1, attack 1, left. All right. Okay, then we can duplicate that. Flip it. Call this sprite enemy 1, attack 1 right. We'll create another sprite. And this one, let's just do 64 by 64. And it'll be like a ball. Yeah, there we go. We'll make a ball. What, purple and blue? Or blue and purple? Yeah, that works. Let's go ahead and trim it down. 0. Here, let's add a line here. Just like that. Go to animations. Let's go ahead and do rotation clockwise. 360 degree, and let's make it happen in what will be a smooth animation. If it takes 360, okay, I think 4 frames per direction will probably make a nice smooth one. So let's see, 360 divided by 4, we're looking at 90 frames. And that's pretty slow, but if you speed it up. Okay, let's not do 90 frames then. That is smooth, but it's too many photos. So let's do or not photos. Too many frames. Here, let's do 13. That does 27. There we go. I think that's good. And it doesn't take up that much memory either. So pretty good on performance as well. And we'll call this sprite enemy 1. I guess we'll do attack 1 ball. Let's go ahead and center that. And now we need to actually create this object. So object enemy 1, attack 1. We can actually just do that. Object enemy 1, attack 1. And we'll give it the ball. Okay, for now we're just gonna do that. At least we have everything to where we can actually set all the programs in, then we can go into the object and make everything happen correctly. Let's go ahead and hit the save button. So back into here. What we're doing now is we're checking if player is in attack range. Okay, so the player is in close range. Let's go ahead and start doing some attacks. Alright. So first things first, let's go ahead and change the animation. So we're going to do sprite index equals sprite enemy 1 attack. He's facing left, so this is attack 1 left. Okay. Let's go ahead and do image index equals 0, so we'll start it on there. Let's do image speed. Let's try to get it looking pretty smooth, not too fast. So 0.3, that should do pretty good. Okay. We're doing that. Now what we need to do, well, we don't need to, but we're going to do it this way. We're going to set up an alarm. Setting attacking alarm. This will just allow us to actually make very smooth, or create the object in a very smooth manner at a certain particular time of the animation. Now for this case, it won't really be much useful, but it's good to learn this because if you put into an actual game, when you have all these different animation stuff, it can actually be useful. For example, let's say your player has a horizontal strike, right? But you want the object to be created at the middle of the horizontal strike. There's two ways you can do it. You can do it through an alarm and just figure out the correct timing of it, or you can also do it through something like if image index equals, let's just say it's the 5th image in the animation, then you can simply just create object. So there's two ways you can do it. We're just going to do it with the alarm in this test, or not in this test, in this tutorial. Okay, so we have that set up, and the attacking ID is 1. This attacking ID is important because inside the alarm we're going to be checking this to kind of make sure we're doing the correct stuff. Next is we are going to be resetting the ATB. Let's see. We'll do randomize. ATB will equal 60 times choose. I mean, it's a normal attack, so he might attack right after again. He might take 2 seconds, or he might take 3 seconds before he attacks again. And then let's go ahead and do this. We're going to tell game enemy is attacking. So attacking equals true. So this is the end of close range. End of checking if the player is within close range. Alright, awesome. So now what we need to do is we need to go to the alarm. Or I guess we have to create it. And this will simply summon attacks, just like that. So we have attack ID. Okay, so first is first. We need to check enemy's direction. So checking enemy's direction, and what we'll do is we'll sprite, not direction, we need to check enemy's attacking animation. There we go. So we'll do sprite index. Not attacking, attack to the left. So we have SPR. This is enemy 1 attack left. There we go. Alright, so if he's doing the first action attack, what we need to do is we need to check the attacking ID. Yes. So checking attack ID. So if attack ID is equal to 1, we're going to create the attack. Instance create at X. I guess we could do it X and Y. We are going to create object enemy 1 attack 1. That is the object we are going to create. Okay, so let's come back into here. No, we're not. We don't. We'll just do it all here. Yeah, we'll just do it. So let's go ahead and create variables needed for motion or for moving. Slash damage. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna create stir. Alright, let's go ahead and create the stir, which will be the damage, the amount of strength it has, and the speed as well. So in here we'll do stir and we'll make it equal, I guess 3 for now. Why not? We'll do 3. And then my speed, we'll make it equal about 10. And then we're going to have the object actually move towards the player. Player X, what's next? Player Y. Object player Y. And the speed will be my speed. Sweet, so we pretty much have all this set up. We should be able to test the first attack and it should work correctly. Let's go ahead and see, make sure we haven't ran into any errors. Alright, so let's get into the range. And there is an error. Enemy attack 1 range. Oh, I missed the E. Okay, where is this? This is in normal event around line 56. The first action. Line 56. Object enemy. First action around line 56. Range. Here it is. Oh, one thing before we do that, let's go ahead and do this. Let's create alarm 0. 3 seconds, and this will be used for destroying object. Destroying self, instance, destroy, just like that, and we'll make a collision with player, and if the ball hits the player as well, it will destroy self. So we're going to instance destroy. Cool. Go ahead and save that. Start it up. Alright, so let's go ahead and test. Nice. You have the attacking animation. Okay, there's a few things we need to do. We need to actually make the ATB subtract. We also need to make the attack timer on here. We need to draw the attack timer because we can't even see if everything's working correctly. Okay, so let's go back real quick and draw some of these tests. Go ahead and copy that. So you have the notice, the ATB, the action timer, the attack, blah blah blah. Yeah. Action timer. And let's just go ahead and knock this to, I don't know what. 50. 50. Alright, so that's taken care of. But now what we need to do is we need to actually subtract from the ATB and from the action timer. Well, it's not really checking. It is checking, but it's actually activating the attack. Activating. So, yeah. So that's the end of that. So right here, we'll go ahead and subtract from here. Alright, so from right here, we're going to start subtracting from the timers. We'll start with action timer first, I guess. So if action timer is greater than 0, we'll go ahead and do action timer minus equals 1. And then I guess we can subtract from ATB, from the ATB. So if ATB is greater than 0, then ATB will minus equal 1 as well. Alright, let's go ahead and test this. So now what should actually happen is we should see the timers actually activating and being subtracted, all that kind of good stuff. And the enemy should also attack once it hits 0, so on, etc. So let's go ahead and go into here, and here's the timer right here, 60 action. So boom, everything's taken up. There we go. He's doing a normal attack. It still is on the same action. Now at that point he would have picked a different action, but we only have one type of attack created for the close range. Now let's make sure the ranges are working correctly. If I go to the second attack range, he should stop attacking. Awesome. Cool. And then if I leave, everything should just stop. Sweet. So far so good. The next things that we're going to start doing is working on the second attack range and giving him a different type of action per that range, and then we'll start working on actually getting rid of the enemy as well. Now there's another thing we need to test though real quick. Did not happen again. I've not noticed. Okay, let's go back real quick. Let's figure out what just happened here. Player notice equals false. At that moment, this becomes false. So it comes to here. If it's false, the direction is 1. The collision is there. Player notice will equals true. Oh. That's right, this is going to be dynamic. So this is based on the current direction. The enemy's not facing right. So before we change anything, let's make sure that's the issue. Let's actually make the enemy start facing right. That's right, none of that's going to happen because, okay, so we need to fix that. See, the enemy changes right if the player is noticed, but in this case, it's not noticed. So all we have to do is actually copy and paste this. Because what we're going to do is we're going to actually make it a dynamic notice range later. Let's go ahead and restart this and see if that fixes the issue. I'm trying to figure out why it worked in the beginning then. So I'm thinking in the beginning the enemy must be faced right. No, he's not. He's just faced left. So somehow, I don't know. That's a bug that hopefully we won't have to worry about anymore. Do that, blah, blah. Something's not right. Oh! The enemy is still attacking. the enemy is still attacking. Because see, up here, this only happens if attacking equals false, which means right here, it equals true. Okay, so the action. Okay, so inside of an animation end, when the animation ends, the enemy is no longer attacking. So let me see, what are we doing? We're going to be changing, changing back to correct sprites / stop attacking. Alright, there we go. So again, we're going to switch this. We're going to switch the sprite index. And again, there are some faster ways of doing this, but like I mentioned in the beginning, I'm not really teaching necessarily short ways, because when it comes to AIs, you'll find out when you start making AIs and you realize all these things you can do, none of your enemies probably will share the same exact AI system. So it's best to learn a wider range of doing things, and then through that, well, you can make your own short ways and shortcuts and all that kind of stuff. So what we're going to do is, if the enemy was attacking left, we are simply going to, sprite index is going to equal sprite enemy 1, what is it, wait? Yeah, we just had to do that. Because when the enemy is not attacking, he will automatically change to the correct side the player is. So, and we'll make sure, well, we don't need the image index. We just need to make sure image speed is set to 0. And then let's go ahead and turn attacking to false. That was the issue. So we have that. Let's go ahead and do this for the right side. Attacking right. Attacking equals false. Okay, sweet. So that's on animation end. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and test this, and let's see if everything works correctly, guys. Alright, showtime. He's not attacking. Actually, hold on. Let's come around. Let's see if anything will happen. Actually, it wouldn't. We only have it set up for if he's facing left right now. So let's go in from the left side. Boom. There we go. Let's make sure the animation happened. Cool. Cool, cool. Awesome. Awesome. Changes. Awesome, but as you can see, he doesn't attack on the right. Now, the reason why the system is made, because that means you can make this enemy do something completely different if you're facing the right, if he's facing the right direction. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that you can start doing when it's set up like this. And it's set up like this purposely because the truth is, you'll find yourself making a bunch of different types of AI systems. Alright, so it looks like everything works. He attacks while you're in attack range. So you leave. Perfect. Perfect. And with this setup, you can also do sneak attacks. Like if he's facing left, which we'll get into later. I mean, this is about to be like a 3 or 4 part, trust me. We'll get into that. When he's facing left, this side of his notice range becomes smaller. So you can get closer to him, you can attack him, you can also increase the damages and stuff when we get to the whole damage calculation. Yeah, that's all later in the future, guys. Now let's go back and see if it works. Awesome, it works. Let's escape and then go back and see if we fix that issue. So everything is at 0, that kind of good stuff. Let's see what happens. Awesome, everything works. Great. Alrighty guys, so today we really did a bunch of setting up the foundations for making an AI system for this enemy. We are not done at all, okay? It's about to get more and more complex, because that's pretty much what an AI system is. Well, in RPGs. Really, in RPGs. You might catch a few shooters that have some complex AIs. Those are more likely to be in 3D shooting games, though, than 2D. Nevertheless, we're getting there, guys. So today we worked on the whole entire foundation. We worked on making the player notice, making the player be able to escape the range of enemy, and also giving the enemy an attack and being able to change its direction based on where the enemy is actually located. Okay. So without any further ado, thank you all for coming out and watching. If y'all haven't already, go ahead and follow me on Twitter, because I'm posting photos and stuff of my video game project, and y'all will be able to see it there first. Not to mention, if you haven't, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can be the first ones to receive upcoming videos and releases, not only about tutorials like this, but also about video trailers and things that I'm trying to do with my video game project as well. So yeah, guys, thank y'all for coming out and watching. Later, guys.